Okay. Otu nwatakịrị nwanyị ọmarị mma emedala m obi m. Otu nwatakịrị nwanyị ọmarị mma emedala m obi m. Nwata bụ ife nna-eli o, ọ bụ ife nna like. Inekene mkpụrụ iru ya o, inekene mkpụrụ obi ya o. Nwata bụ doctor's prescription 3 times in a day.
Sorry.
Baby, 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 oh.
Hello, Flavour.
Finally, oh.
It's about to go down. It's about to go down.
Finally, oh. It's about to go down. Where my baby, it's about to go down. Oh, my sexy lady, it's about to go down. Oh, yeah, just okay. Walubenu, walubenu, maya, 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 maya. Oh, yeah, just okay. Walubenu, walubenu, maya, maya. Oh, yeah, just okay. Walubenu, walubenu, maya, 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 maya. Oh, yeah, just okay. Walubenu, walubenu, yeah. So
I used to mesmerize. Say me that my baby mama go make it to the end. And I thought I was in love until I met my wife. It be like she do me voodoo, she tell me to bulu bulu go be a me.
This is something that is extremely important to us. I am a Nigerian. My name is Tony Abulu, and most people know me as a film producer. Sitting next to me here is a wonderful lady who loves Nigeria a lot and has made a lot of contribution to the Nigerian youth. Her name is Dr. Oge Irono. Mrs. Irono lives in the US, just like I also live in the US. But one thing that is very, very important about what she's doing is that over a 25-year period, herself and her husband, Mr. Emmanuel Irono, they have spent so much time raising funds. They started a non-profit organization called TIS. We call it TIS. You know, it's an organization that helps young people in Nigeria, in Africa, as well as in the US. They train them. They've trained a lot of young people in Nigeria. They've trained at least 12,000 young Nigerians over a 7-year period. They have a company which is called the Africa Community Bridge Fund, which also serves for them in Nigeria. But Dr. Rono is going to tell you a lot about what they do. But I just wanted you to know that they're having an event in Washington, D.C. on June 6th. And that event is going to be an event to celebrate 25 years of what they have been doing in Africa, as well as the US, and especially in Nigeria. So she's here to let Nigerians know that, listen, we are here for good. We're going to be doing a lot of work. We've been doing a lot of work for 7 years, and we're going to intensify our efforts as well. But this 25th anniversary is so wonderful. We have one of our great Nigerian musicians, Flavour, who is going to be joining us over there, and he's going to be performing. Everybody's so excited about this. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you Dr. Irono.
Here. TIS Foundation is a 25-year organization. It's Washington-based, Washington, D.C., US-based. TIS provides training, capacity building, skills acquisition, food pantries, water sanitation for young men and women. We try to uplift families in the United States and here in Nigeria. In Nigeria, we have an organization called African Community Bridge Foundation. That is our implementing arm of TIS Foundation. Incidentally, TIS Foundation stands to inspire strong families and communities, and that's what we've done. In Nigeria, we've trained over 20,000 young men and women for entrepreneurship development. We have 2 food pantries. We operate in Abuja, feeding over 3,000 families every month. So these are some of the things we've done in Nigeria. But on the 6th of June 2019 at the Marriott Marquis in Washington, D.C., we will be celebrating our 25 years of charitable giving. It's an honor and a privilege to have someone of Mr. Flavor's caliber to volunteer, first of all, for our organization, to be the face of our 25th year anniversary. So I'm very, very pleased to have him in Washington, D.C. on the 6th of June at the Marriott Marquis. And it will be a great show. He will, of course, he's a very good performer. So it will be a blast, the 25th year anniversary blast for more years to come.
You know, I haven't lived in the States. I've lived in the States for 35 years. And some of you who know me, my main issue is how do we help Nigerian youth? 70% of Nigerian population are the youth. And if you ask any young Nigerian, they always tell you all the time that, look, we're looking for who's going to help us in training. We're looking for people that are going to help us with funding, seed funding to start business. Nigerians are very smart people. The young people are very enterprising, and they are ready and willing to work. But sometimes you need help. So I'm very, very proud of Mrs. Rono and her husband because they don't have to do this. There are quite a lot of people in diaspora that just take care of themselves and their own families, and that's it. But they've taken the extra step of their own volition to say, listen, we have to give back. We have to give back. They work so hard in the U.S. Nobody ever went to the U.S. and with a silver spoon. Everybody went there to work hard, and over time you struggle and you work hard. And if you care, and if you genuinely love people, then you have to give back. So I'd like to give a round of applause for Dr. Rono, and her husband. So I would take a few questions, in case you want to know a little bit more. But I would like you to note they have a lot of sponsors which they've been working with in the US and asking for support. One of those sponsors is Motier Services. Motier Services has been fundamental, has been fantastic, and they've spent so much time to try to help the young people in Nigeria, in the rest of Africa, and so on. So they also have other people. They work with the government in Washington, D.C. as well to try to let people know that, listen, we're working hard here to help the youth here, but at the same time, we want to help the youth back in Africa as well. So they are doing a great job.
That your house owns us over there, that's kudos.
Yes.
What's the modality in selecting this set of people you want to help?
Yes.
Yes. For African Community Bridge Foundation, which is the implementing arm of TIS Foundation in Nigeria, we advertise and we recruit. Actually, we have partners in Nigeria, like Central Bank of Nigeria has been our partner for over 5 years. The Bank of Industry also has been our partners, microfinance banks, the NYSC. So we get young people from those agencies, they refer people to us to get trained on how to start their own businesses. That's entrepreneurship development. But what makes us unique is after we've trained you, we give you seed capital to start your business. Either we fund you, because with the partnership with Central Bank of Nigeria, the idea is we train them and then the Central Bank gives them loans. But that hasn't quite worked out the way it should. So we wanted to be able to, fill that gap, be that linkage to help people actually start their businesses, to expand their businesses, to be able to move themselves from one point to the other. So this past August, we had delegates from Prince George's County in United States. They had a trade mission and they came to Abuja. We empowered 100 participants, 100 people. And what's the number? About 2,000 IDP participants also. So what we did was like the IDP, I said we had a food pantry. So for the food pantry, we feed them every month. And then we also started businesses for about 50 of them. But people we've trained, we make sure we provide them with funds to be able to start their own businesses. That's the seed capital. It's an equity for them to be able to go to the bank and, be able to get money, which was what was missing from our trainings with the BOI and Central Bank of Nigeria.
Yes. Let me just say this. Was it just last weekend? In America, there's something called Thanksgiving. They had a major support program which they had. I think she should talk about that a little bit.
Yes. On the 20th of November in Southeast Washington, D.C. Southeast Washington, D.C. is a high-need community in Washington area. So there are lots of families who need help as well. So for Thanksgiving, when it's a celebration of gratitude, things that have gone well for you. It's just an American celebration anyway. But for Thanksgiving this year, we fed over 1,000 people, and we gave away turkey is the main protein
for Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. So we gave away 1,000 turkeys to families, and then we fed over 1,000 people as well. So that was a big celebration we had.
Because what is important is this, and this is very, very crucial. It's an example, and I'm so happy that the top journalists are here, because you guys are the ones that are going to try to encourage people that listen. People say nobody cares. We see people who care, and they've been doing this for years. You know what I mean? For years, and it's out of pocket. They have to go around soliciting help. Having people that are going to donate and so on and so forth. And we need more like them. But I am really, really very proud of the Ronos, of what they've done. And their diligence in making sure that African children get the opportunity that they deserve.
Is there any reason for choosing Flavour?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Any reason for choosing Flavour particularly?
I don't think I'm supposed to say the reason.
Well, I will say something. Flavour. We have a lot of artists, and I work with a lot of artists. But Flavour is one artist among a few that I know that really cares. So when Flavour heard about this great initiative and so on and so forth, he looked at it and said, well, how can we contribute? How can we help? So we were so happy, we're so glad. Flavour is world-renowned. He's an international artist. A lot of people in Washington, D.C. love him a lot. You know what I mean? And to help this whole thing move forward, we're feeding 1,000 people in Washington. We're feeding thousands in Nigeria every month, 3,000, just as Dr. Rono said. We want to be able to feed 5 million people. You know what I mean? So with the support of everybody and different artists that are coming on board like that, the last time you guys had something, it was Two-Face. Right. That volunteered and came on board like that. So Flavour is one artist that I think we should give credit to, give a lot of credence to. Some other time it might be another artist, you know what I mean? But this particular time, he was one of the few ones that initially said, you know what, let's see what we can do to make things a lot better for the youth. Because he's always talking about the youth. He's done some work in Rwanda, you know what I mean, and so on and so forth. So I think that it was second nature for him to do this.
So on our website, there is an application form if you want to get trained. There's an application form, and then on our social media pages, they're always advertising a training. So you could also call the numbers on those sites. Website for African Community Bridge Foundation is www.africancbf.org. So we have an executive training program.
Yes.
Also, for people who are civil servants who are thinking of retiring. So we help you. We teach you how to transition from what you're doing to, if you have other businesses that you're thinking of starting or you've already started. We teach you how to manage those. My husband he's my supporter, my biggest cheerleader.
Well, I love charity. I love anything that inspires people, help people grow. So when I heard about it, it was everything I wanted to do. So that's it.
Like I said before, for me, it's not just music. I'm about. If you've heard about the things I've done, read about some of the places I've been to, wherever I go, the first place I want to go to is the homes, the disabled homes, and just we want to do something to help people, yeah, the less privileged. So when I heard about them, I had my manager told me some things and watched like Two-Face was there some time ago, so yeah, the whole ideology is like what I want to do. So that's why I came on board.
A great
show. A great show. A great show at the fundraising. I'll come to perform, give my best, make the people they're happy. We create more awareness and everything positive.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would also like to say that Flavour is an international artist. He's very well known. He's done a lot of work, like I said before. Sometimes when you're in Nigeria, people don't really know how well you are loved outside Nigeria. But when you go to a place like Washington, D.C., and we're saying that Flavour is coming, everyone says, oh, wow, fantastic. Okay, so sometimes the credibility of the artist is one thing. The credibility of the organization is another thing. When both bring the forces together, then everything moves higher. So we really, really very, very proud and happy that we have Flavour on board. Same way he looked at the institution, what TIS is doing. Same way we have to look at what the artist is doing as well. Is the artist the kind of person that will support in the terms of image? Does the artist really care about the less privileged? All those things are taken into consideration. And I'm very, very proud to tell you that Flavour is someone that we're very proud of. Is someone that we believe that the organization TIS is very proud to be associated with. And I'm sure on June 6th,
don't get me wrong.
June 6th, 2019, we're going to have a fantastic show. You guys are going to hear about it. And I'm sure some of you will want to join us.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is your girl, Angel, of Blaze Channel USA. And right here, we're here for the press briefing for the celebration of TIS. It's a foundation that helps African women, children, and families to be stronger. They inspire them to do a lot. There's developmental training, there's entrepreneurial training, and a lot more. I'm with the president of TIS and the African Community Bridge Foundation. She's Mrs. Oge Irono, who lives in Washington, D.C., and we're going to talk to her right now to tell us more about TIS and ACBF. Hello, Mrs. Oge.
Hi, Angel. How are you?
Good, thank you. We heard you talk at the press briefing just a few moments ago about the things you people have done. Please tell us, we would like to know what actually, of course on Blaze Channel USA, what actually inspired you to start TIS and also ACBF?
What inspired me to start TIS Foundation 25 years ago is a passion to empower, uplift young men and women, particularly women and families, to build communities where we can empower the individuals of that community to help them lift themselves out of poverty. So that inspired the foundation of the funding of TIS Foundation. And then from there, African Community Bridge Foundation was born for the Nigerian community. We do the same things. We do entrepreneurship training, we do capacity building, skills acquisition, and we do food pantries for communities in need and young men and women who need to be empowered for businesses.
Yes, thank you. Here in Nigeria, we have seen, because we live here, we have seen there's so many people living in poverty. How do you intend to reach a lot of them?
It's been daunting. Nigeria is a huge population, and unfortunately we have a lot of people living in poverty, like we said, who live below the national average for livelihood or whatever that's called. But what we do is we try to reach people through our social media contacts. We have press this press briefing is one, so people get to know what we do. Then we advertise and then get in contact with people.
Thank you. We hear you are celebrating 25 years of TIS in Washington next year, 2019, in June.
Yes.
And we have people like Flavour coming to grace the occasion. And we also heard he volunteered to be there. That's a really great thing that's going to be happening. So besides celebrating, what else do you intend to do at the program? Do you intend to raise funds?
Of course, we're always trying to raise funds. What we do, like I said, is daunting. Feeding 3,000 families in Nigeria every month. You need a lot of money for that. Then in the US, we feed communities also. So definitely, we are raising funds. But most importantly, we're celebrating 25 years of charitable giving, 25 years of being in this space and helping people. And the greatest honor I can think of is to have somebody who's internationally known, who says, look, I think you're credible, I like what you're doing, I'm going to help you. And that's what we have in Flavour, so I'm very, very grateful for that.
Yes. Could you tell us the relationship between the city of Washington and TIS?
TIS, that's our headquarters, that's where TIS is, that's where we're located.
Okay. Do you have support from them?
Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. We've worked with the District of Columbia government. We have the council members who support what we do, and Ward 7s and 8 of Washington, D.C. That's where most of the work we do is in Ward 7 and 8 of Southeast D.C. So we have the council members, the ANC members, all working with us to uplift that community.
Great, Mrs. Oge. Thank you so much for what you do for Africa, for African women, children, and many families. God bless you, and please keep doing the good work. We wish you could come to DC to celebrate with you, but...
You're coming. You're coming.
Hello, this is your girl, Angel Ufoma of Bliss Channel USA. We're still at the briefing, the press briefing for TIS Celebration 25 Years in Washington 2019. Now we're going to meet the official artist for the day, for the celebration, and he's none other than Flavour Nabania. Hello, Mr. Flavour. I've been waiting on you. It's good to finally meet you.
Thank you.
So we hear you're going to be doing this pro bono, and how excited are you to do that?
Very well excited, and I can't wait.
I know.
Yeah.
So have you performed in DC before? In Washington? You have?
Yeah.
So what's the audience like?
Wonderful audience. Yeah.
You enjoyed the performance?
Party audience.
That's good. Thank you, Flavour. We have also heard about some of the things you've done for African children.
Yeah.
I particularly have been waiting to say thank you, actually give you a hug.
Oh.
For what you did for the little boy, the little blind boy who sings. Oh my goodness, God bless you. That's just a wonderful thing. Thank you so much. Thank you for all that you do, and we love your music.
Thank you.
We're pleased to meet you.
Thank you.
Can you please show us a bit of what your fans, who I know are waiting for you in DC, are going to be seeing? Just a little, a little.
Well, DC, you don't reach Mr. Flavour go there live, so all my all my
a little bit of thank you, Flavour.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you guys. I'll be there live to support, to perform, and to make you guys happy. We're getting ready, and see you there.
Thank you, Flavour. Alrighty, it's a wrap on the press briefing for TIS, that is to inspire strong African children funds. We hope to be at Washington, D.C., USA on June 6th, 2019 to celebrate with TIS. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Yes, so my people, original root boy Mr. Flavour on the dance of the done with TIS alongside Mr. Flavour coming through DC on the 6th of June 2019. Oh yes, I'm ready. I'm ready now. Mr. Flavour coming through. Done, so everybody. See you there. Are you ready?
So simple, original woman, na African baby, Adama. She too fine, yeah, she too fine, yeah, chai. All my man is so cool, baby na tomato juicy, Adama. She too simple, she too humble, Mata no amo manasaro. Adama, you be my choice,